to Big Daddy Bakes. I'm Big Daddy, and today we're going to be making my twist on a Mennonite whole grain bread. It has whole wheat flour and oatmeal. It's delicious. Slightly sweet, just on the little bit on the sweeter side, and it has such a nice texture. It's great for making toast, French toast, anything like that that you can use with your bread. It is wonderful. So let's get to it, and I'll show you how to do it. For this recipe you will need 1.5 teaspoons of quick yeast, quick rising yeast. This is instant yeast that I've got here. 3/4 cup of water and 3/4 cup of milk. These need to be warmed to 105 degrees. We're also going to need 15 3/4 ounces of all-purpose flour. For this, I recommend that you weigh it out. I tried it doing it with cups and whatever, and it just never turned out right, so just weigh this out. 3/8 of a cup of whole wheat flour, 3/8 of a cup of quick oats. Old-fashioned oats won't work for this, so you do need to use the quick oats. 1.5 teaspoons of salt, 3 tablespoons of brown sugar, doesn't matter whether it's light or dark brown sugar, and 3 tablespoons of flavorless oil. I'm using sunflower, but you can use canola or safflower as well. It doesn't really matter, as long as it doesn't have a taste to it. Alright, to start off this recipe, I'm going to add my milk. I did a temp on it, and it's at 105 degrees. And then I'm going to add my yeast. And I'm going to add the brown sugar. And then I'm just going to give that a quick whisk. I'm going to let this sit for about 10 minutes. I just want to see that the yeast is activated and it gets foamy. So I'll be back in 10 minutes. Alright, we can see that this is foamy. All the yeast has been activated and it's made a little bubbles on the top, which is exactly what we want. Now the rest of this is easy. You just put in your flour. Also add in the whole wheat flour. Add in your oats. Add the oil. And last, the salt. I'm going to let this knead for between 8 and 10 minutes. If you're doing it by hand, it may take a little longer to get a nice loaf. It's going to be hard to do a window pane test with this because the oats just don't allow it, and the whole grain bread kind of do. But you can tell when it turns into a nice soft dough, and this will be slightly sticky. That is fine. We want it to be sticky. Don't add a whole bunch more flour to it. It just won't work out well. Okay, so our dough has kneaded. It's slightly sticky. I'm just going to make it into a ball, and I'm going to put it into my bowl. I'm going to let this rise for an hour. Should get up to double in bulk, and then we'll get it shaped and get it ready to go in the oven. So our dough has risen. It rose for an hour. I punched it down, and it's been about 35 minutes, and it's doubled in size again. So what I have here on my board, I have sprayed some oil on it so it won't stick, and I'm just going to roll this dough out with my hands, kind of pat it out to about a 9-inch, about the size of my tin. My tin I've sprayed with oil on the inside, and then I'm going to roll this up tightly without any air pockets in it. And then I'm going to pinch it closed on all sides. Going to glue it up, and it's going to go back into the pan. Now I'm going to let this rise for 30 minutes to an hour till it's about an inch over the top of the pan, and then we'll bake it. At the last few minutes, probably 10-15 minutes before it's done rising, go ahead and turn your oven on to 350. So here's our bread ready to go into the oven. It's risen about an inch or so above the pan. That's what we want. This will bake in a 350 oven for about 30 to 35 minutes. When it reaches 190 degrees, it's done. But generally 30-35 minutes is a good time. Here's our bread after it comes out of the oven. I've let it stay in the pan for just a few minutes, and I'm going to put it on a wire rack. Let this cook completely before cutting it. But it's a nice dense loaf full of whole grains. It is delicious. Thank you for joining me here on Big Daddy Bakes. If you like what we do, please subscribe and also share with a friend. And as a side note, I haven't been doing very many videos because I had knee surgery, and I had been kind of down with that and after the surgery for a while. So I'm just now able to get back to doing this. So thank you again. Flour and no, just no.